Just really quick, I guess a recommendation. If you aren't speaking, mute your microphone through the controller, just so there's no background noise, I guess. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
And I didn't expect an intro for this.
Neither did I.
This
Well,
is interesting.
flashy. Did the budget get increased?
It looks like it.
You do. For the most part, everyone has to voice two characters.
This is not a bad intro for like what they're doing here.
It is. Go ahead, Light.
Hear me speak. Oh,
Okay, that's
Well.
fast.
I'm just going to leave this alone.
Yeah,
just
leave it alone.
No, this will take me forever.
I can't control it, just to let you know.
For I am thy servant. Pretty much. Oh, they actually took that from
Mozart.
freaking,
Lacrimosa.
Yeah, it's Lacrimosa.
Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all! Morgana.
Voices. So many voices. Laughing. 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 Was this a 10th such party? The 20th? I no longer had any idea. The Lord's guests merely drank my blood. My father had not blessed me with his miracle. Though wealthy nobles could fill their goblets with it. My blood was for the poor, for the infirmed and the destitution. Am I here? Why am I not doing my father's work? With each passing moment, my body grew colder and colder, while a mad, fiery fever spread among the partygoers. Father, it hurts. My soul hurt far more than my body. It felt like it was cracked in a dozen places, about to shatter. Again and again, I've been told it was just a trial, that God was simply testing me, but I didn't think I could bear it much longer. The horrible black blossoms filled from the wounds of my flesh, filling the room. It was probably illusion, something only I could. A mass soon began consuming my spirit. All my life, I spent telling myself to be pure, just, righteousness, and all of... Sorry, cat. That was quittering away, gripping me assured. Father, O Lord, of thy mercy, cut off my enemies, and destroy all of them that afflict my soul, for I am thy servant. I am thy servant. These, O Father, deliver unto these sinners thy holy judgment. Cast them down into the depths of hell. For the sins they would commit against thy faithful servant. Disgusted as a prayer, I cursed them. For the first time in my life, I wished someone ill. I did what a saint, what the daughter of God must never do. And in that moment, I committed a sin greater than anyone.
The girl! Look at her face!
I began to hear panicked voices rising up around the hall. However, I was completely oblivious to the cause of the unrest. In fact, I assumed that perhaps God had heard and struck down some of the partygoers. The Lord marched over to where I sat in chains, grabbed me by the hair, and yanking my head up. In his other hand, he held a sword. A disgusted grimace was carved onto his face, as though he was looking down at the filthiest thing in the world.
You damn witch, where's the saint's skin?
This is worse than I expected. The stench of rotting flesh hung in the air. Corpses were strewn about the room in varying states of decay. Blood pooled on the floor, black and thick as mud. An eyeball hung loose from one body, half decomposed and about as much a liquid as a solid. A many white bone was visible through patches of flesh that had rotted away entirely. Some had been worked to death. Others died of any number of diseases, and they were the lucky ones. Several bodies bore stab wounds from head to toe. Others looked like someone had tried to rip them in two. Some had been burned until the entire body shriveled, and some were covered in blisters. There were no shortage of people who had obviously been tortured. Though the man on the other end of torture, the Lord Barnier, thought of it as more of a leisure activity. The Lord is spoken of in whispers as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. Though it wasn't until I snuck into his manor and saw it for myself that I truly understood how accurate that was. He was a damn psychopath. I apologize that I couldn't make it in time to save you all, too. I'm hardly a religious man, but for you, I think you can spare a prayer. Rest in peace. I'm not myself today. Though I suppose that shouldn't be a surprise, considering what today is. I wonder if that girl from the other day is among the dead. No. I need to stay focused. If this goes south, I'll be the one joining the pile of bodies. God, I'm starting to get a little nervous. Don't go weak in the knees now, Jacobo. How can you ever expect to go out into the world and can't even keep yourself together for something as straightforward as this? I can do this. No problem. Let's start ourselves a revolt. It all began a little over 2 weeks earlier. The local lord's iron-fisted rule was destroying the commoners. And this went doubly for those living in poverty, who were barely scraping by before taxes. You could hardly take 3 steps out in the slums without hearing someone curse the Lord. I have no idea who first proposed the plan. Everything came together so smoothly, so quickly, it's almost a blur. Where it started as the everyday litany of complaints hurled back and forth between the usual crew of young, indignant men in the pub, soon escalated, ballooning into a full-fledged plot to strike back. He treats us like dog shit. We're the ones working at this goddamn land. Let's get the bastard what's coming. For the next few days, word of the plot spread through the slums, and the number of volunteers grew at an impressive pace. And the more people we had on board, the more realistic it all started to become. While the original plan amounted to charging in headlong with whatever weapons we could scrounge together, it quickly evolved into a more sensible scheme to infiltrate the Lord's manor and free his slaves. It was no secret that the Lord is purchasing far more slaves than he should have any reasonable use for. What we didn't know was what he did with the slaves. That the banquets that he so loved to throw were actually sick, sadistic torture parties. The best we could do was infer their living conditions were less than ideal from the fact that the Lord kept acquiring more. While the plan to free the Lord's slaves were undeniably rooted in a righteous desire, I'd be lying if I said everyone's intentions were so pure. We wanted to right and justice, absolutely, but the prevailing desire was vengeance, to give the Lord a little comeuppance. Part of it is also calculated. It would be advantageous for it to look like a slave revolt rather than a civilian uprising. If we struck from the outside, we are liable to bring the Lord's wrath down upon more than just a handful of us involved. When the blow came from the inside, you couldn't blame us. Secondly, the Lord's mansion sat atop a hill, which meant his soldiers had advantage of terrain. It would be nigh impossible for a band of lowly, ill-equipped peasants to break through his defenses, and we certainly didn't have the money to hire mercenaries. No amount of righteous anger was getting us anywhere near that manor. On the other hand, quietly getting one person inside a stirred pot was far more feasible. So ultimately, freeing the slaves was a means to an end. It was our best chance to deal the Lord a real blow. Of course, that doesn't mean we wouldn't save as many people as we could, nor did it mean it would be easy to pull off, that any of us would make it out alive. The plan went as follows. We would find a slave trader willing to sell one of us to the Lord. Once that infiltrated, they would spread word of the scheme to other slaves, trying to get as many of them on board as possible. Finding a slave trader willing to cooperate was surprisingly easy. They're businessmen, and slaves, their product. While the majority didn't give a damn what happened to the slaves after they received payment, there were more than a few who were displeased, knowing their precious wares were being squandered. Slaves are supposed to be long-term workers. They're not meant to be expendable. They require food and rest and some semblance of reasonable living conditions. It's far from a glamorous life, obviously, but most sensible slave owners at least had a vested interest in keeping these workers alive. However, that was far from the case with Lord Barnier. Slaves were, of course, the property of whoever purchased them, and the mere slave trader had no place complaining about how they were being treated. That didn't mean the traders had to like it, though. There was a small collective of them who staunchly refused to do business with the Lord, quietly mocking any who did. Nobody openly spoke ill of the Lord, let alone opposed him directly. Not only because this land was under his control, but because he was a madman, and everyone knew it. So it would help us get in, and nothing more. But that was fine. That's all we needed from them to put our plan into action. And the vanguard of our operation, the one who would infiltrate the Lord's Manor, was me. I volunteered for the position, partially in the heat of the moment, but also because I was confident I could pull it off. Above all, though, I didn't want to believe that I couldn't manage such a straightforward task. I had to step up and take initiative. I would never escape this life as a poor, lowly slum dweller. Crawling through the dirt, everyone, nobles and peasants alike, looking down on me, thinking I'm worthless. That would be me for my whole pathetic life. Like hell I was gonna let that happen. I wanted to claw my way up, as high as I could manage. I didn't want to surrender, to accept that I was powerless. I wanted to make something of my one and only life. We chose the beginning of the Lord's next banquet for my infiltration, and it was when I saw the horror for myself. The abuse and the torture he put the slaves through. It was a goddamn blood banquet. Any mistake, no matter how small, would invite harsh discipline. Barnier was in particularly foul mood that day. He would physically bait the wrongdoer. He had a particular fondness for activities that drew blood, though. He would regularly gather together nobles with similar predilections at its manor. Once the banquet had begun, it generally continued for around 2 weeks. The first thing I did after infiltrating was spread word of the plan to the other slaves. To be honest, I assumed it would be easy getting them to cooperate. They should have reviled Barnier more than anyone. After all, I could not have been more wrong. Every ounce of willpower had been drained from them. They were malnourished, unrested, and violently oppressed. I could hardly have convinced them to swat a mosquito. He had them completely under his thumb. Everyone was utterly terrified to fight back against Barnier. They would just as soon as take their own lives. Hardly a day in, and the plan already seemed to have hit a wall. A full week I spent trying and failing to convince a single soul to assist in the revolt. Just as I was beginning to fear it might not work after all. Greg.
We need to talk. Come with me.
He was a tall, muscular slave who spent most of his time doing physical labor. Despite the poor conditions, he seemed to keep himself in rather good shape. Like the other slaves, his eyes weren't filled with fear and resignation. But it wasn't hope I saw in them either. Rather, they looked like the eyes of a bloodthirsty wolf. His unkempt, greasy blonde hair only served to amplify the primal impression he gave off. Between that and the faint cocky smirk visible on his lips, he more resembled the head of a gang of ruffians than a slave. I wasn't sure it was entirely wise to accompany him anywhere. Against my better judgment, with far too little information, I followed the man to the Great Hall. There were a dozen or so nobles and upperclassmen and women clustered about the hall. The air was filled with the scent of aromatic herbs, and it wasn't long before I realized they were meant to mask the smell of blood. A large table was lined with plates stacked with piles of glistening, dark red meat. Noblemen sneered at us with wet lips as we entered the room. The contrast between the nobles' practice, graceful mannerisms, and the grotesque feats of which they were partaken was so bizarre, I simply stood there aghast. There was no room for anger to form. Dolores stood on a platform, like a small stage, at the far end of the room.
Are you the slave you offered to be the day's entertainment?
The buff man nodded, dropping down to one knee. What does he mean by entertainment?
Surely you're tired of merely inflicting pain on helpless slaves. Would you, by any chance, be interested in something a little more exciting?
Could you be any more disrespectful? Lord Barnier, you would do best to rid yourself of barbarians such as him.
There. Give the poor man a break. You can't expect an uneducated slave to be properly versed in the ways of polite society. Now, elaborate, slave.
Me and him, we duel. Right here, right now.
Huh?
Do you seriously think we haven't already pitched slaves against each other numerous times by now? That's all.
Tell me, were they as vigorous as the two of us? Young and chomping at the bit?
Well,
all you want to see is a couple of half-dead slaves limply flailing at each other. Help yourselves. But you're not going to find many here who can give you a fight with some real oomph, you know? Hell, half the slaves here would probably keel over with just a little shove. So I figured you might be up for a little change of pace. A barbarian like me.
Whoa. I never agreed to this.
Suck it up. You're a slave. Just want to have you had the right to agree to any of it.
You make a compelling argument, Gratien, was it?
The Lord knows my name. I'm honored.
I'll only remember because you came very highly recommended. The slave charter said you were descended from a line of warriors that made a name for themselves, fighting in the ancient Colosseum. I had assumed he was exaggerating. But perhaps there is some truth to it after all.
Who can say? Couldn't tell you about my ancestors. But what I can tell you is that I just love a good duel.
Find a Colosseum? Descended from gladiators? And I'm supposed to go one-on-one against him?
Very well. Guards, bring these two swords.
Sir!
Shit.
What is he hoping to accomplish? To win Barnier's favor? I guess I just hope I can catch him by surprise as soon as...
Hey, kid, listen up.
What?
Nice fort. Keep it down. Listen carefully. Don't get any wise ideas. Got it? Just go along with it. Everything on the level.
What are you scheming?
I'll find out soon enough. Assuming you can handle a sword. Anyhow.
Two guards approached us, each carrying a long sword. It was heavier than expected. It felt awkward in my hands. Both of our blades were badly chipped, clearly old and battle-worn. Of course, they wouldn't give new quality weapons for a pair of slaves, but a sword was still a sword. Beaten though they may have been, I still had to be careful or I'd be dead before I ever got the slave revolt off the ground. That said, I survived this long in the slums. I was completely helpless, and I had experience with a dagger, though I wasn't sure how much help that would be now. The longer two-handed weapon still felt awkward in my hands. As I squinted the blade's hilt, adjusted my grip, trying to familiarize with the feel of it, Barnier took a seat, readying himself to spectate. That's when I caught sort of white lie lay hidden at the back of the stage. What? I stood there, staring at Gabe, completely forgetting I was but moments from a duel with a man twice my size. At the back of the stage was what looked like an altar, draped in a thick white sheet, and stained red. Atop it sat a young girl, covered in gashes. Her head was drooped, so I couldn't see her face. But judging from her size, I didn't think she could be more than 10 years of age. Some wounds were older, had already scabbed over, some were swollen, bright red protrusions on her pale skin. Some were oozing pus, and others were so fresh they were still bleeding. It was difficult to find parts of her body that wasn't cut. Hey! What do you think you're doing to that girl? I don't care who you are. No one deserves that. Even as I shouted at the Lord, the girl remained motionless. She seemed unconscious. Not dead yet, but it wouldn't be long.
Silence, Kerr! I don't recall giving you permission to speak. Or would you rather lose your head right now? Continue on as you are. Damn despot. Now, go on. Get started. Give us a show befitting of this grand affair.
Fighting my urge to snap back at him, I turned to face a slave named Gratien. The other guests lined the walls, whispering among themselves, speculating about the potential victor. The crowd was so overwhelming in Gratien's favor. To absolutely no surprise, they didn't even bother taking bets.
Try not to go down in one blow, kid.
Hold on, what's the point of this? Slowly, Gratien lowered into a crouch. In the next second, he leapt at me like a tiger. There was an audible whoosh, and before I even had time to gasp, he was mere inches away. What choice do I have? I swung my sword up, catching Gratien's blade mid-descent, and attempted a parry, but there was far more weight in the strike than I had expected. Impact caused my hands to sting painfully, my knees to buckle. I clenched my teeth, trying at the very least to hold my ground. Gratien barely gave me no time to recover, let alone strike back before launching into his second attack. He handled a longsword so effortlessly, swinging it through the air in such impressive perfect arcs that I could hardly believe we were both using the same weapon. Ha! I twisted out of the way, but not quite in time. The tip of his blade skimmed the skin of my neck. And then, not even giving me a chance to catch my balance, he thrust his blade at me. While I managed to deflect the attack just in time, I wasn't able to follow through. Meanwhile, a wide, mocking smirk spread across Gratien's face. He seemed to be having the time of his life.
Come on, kid. You're gonna have to do better than that. You gotta keep your head.
I wrought out several insults in my head, but unlike him, I couldn't spare the energy to put them to words.
Pick it up, boy.
Gah! God damn!
That all you got, kid? I thought you'd fare a little better.
Shut your damned mouth! I was stuck on the defensive. With every strike, he pushed me further and farther back. I was almost up against the wall. I thought he said it was part of some plan. Or was he just trying to get me to let my guard down? He's conspiring with the Lord. He must be. Why challenge me to a duel, though? Did someone spill word of the plan to him?
Come on, give me your best shot, boy.
Yes, very funny. You know damn well I'm barely managing as it is.
You gotta at least try. Don't want to put our audience to sleep now, do we?
Yeah! Even the bones in my forearms are starting to sting. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up.
Here, let me show you how it's done.
Yeah. God, I can't get a damn inch on him. Much more of this, I'll be up against the wall. I'm dead if I don't go on the offensive. Now's my last chance. I still got breathing room. Hey, big guy! You may think you have the advantage, but not for long!
That's rich, coming from a guy who can't even get one swing in on me.
It's all a trick to get your guard down. I've been saving this one just for you, meathead. Good luck dodging it! With that hulking body of yours!
Now that's more like it. Let me have it, kid.
I hop backwards a couple of paces to my heel is pressed up against the wall. There's no backing down. Not anymore. Breathing heavily, I lifted my blade, pointing it at Gratien. He pointed his in turn. A cocky grin plastered on his face. And then, I kicked off the ground, hard, sending me flying towards him. My sword held down near my waist, his above his head. And then, whoosh! He ripped, his blade ripping through the air just over my head. The mere force of the gale created by his swing was so intense. For a brief moment, I thought he might have knocked my head clean off my shoulders. But I was still breathing. In spite of the exhaustion, my mind was incredibly clear and focused. I hadn't swung up at him, but slid across the floor. Your back's wide open! I lurched to my feet, spinning around, and swung my sword at his neck with everything I had. Duh!
Rah!
What? My would-be grand comeback was deflected from behind without batting an eye. And hardly a wimpy deflect for that matter. My hands felt like they were on fire.
A little bit on the dirty side that was, but hey, not half bad, kid.
Damn it!
Just a little more oomph to that swing and you might have landed it. Too bad, too bad.
I don't stand a chance against him head on. But he's not one to fall for the same trick twice. I need a new plan.
Back against the wall with ya.
Son of a... Ugh.
What's the matter, kid? That's all you got? After all that talk, I was expecting a little more from you.
Grr. Huh. 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 He got me completely under his thumb. I'm dead if I don't do something. I can barely lift my arms anymore. It's getting harder to breathe. My vision's going blurry. I can't die yet. Not here. Not now. Not to this damn brute. There has to be something. An opening I'm not seeing. Anything. Some way to turn the tables. Huh? Am I imagining it? Or did I react to it quicker than usual? Is he doing what I think he's doing? Patterns were forming in my mind. I've been through this routine so many times, now my body instinctively knew what came next. I parried the strike entirely by reflex. I wasn't so full of myself as to think it was a sign I was gaining the upper hand. As much as loath to admit it, he had every imaginable advantage over me. I should have realized what he was doing sooner, but I've been so focused on keeping my head attached, my sword in my hands, that I didn't have the spare mental capacity to see beyond that. He was in complete control. The only reason I was able to keep up with him was because he was letting me. Because he was repeating the same sequence of attacks, again and again. If I'm right, the next... You come from above.
Ho-ho!
Right on the money. A clang like the pealing of a bell echoed through the hall as a blaze collided. It was a much cleaner, more satisfying sound than it had made when I was struggling to keep up. I still don't know what he's scheming. We're not going to throw away this chance to win back some ground. Sparks flew with each clash of our swords, and Gratien's smirk grew wider. I could hear murmuring bubble up in the gallery as the tides turned. Cheering, cursing, confused gasps. But for long, the sound seemed to grow distant. It was just me and Gratien, and the bubble of silence. Not even the sound of metal striking metal. My heavy breathing. The stomping of our feet. Distractedly loud pounding of my heart. The blood pumping through my veins. All whisked away into nothing. Every one of my senses were focused on exactly two things. The image of our swords cutting clear arcs through the air. And Gratien's intent.
That's it. Next, overhead.
He whispered so quietly that by all rights, I could have never heard it, but his intentions came through loud and clear. As if being controlled by that voice, I swung my sword down. After about half dozen such clashes, we locked blades and had a brief shoving match before putting a little distance between each other. And then we went at it again. To the audience, it would have looked like a fierce battle to the death. It felt more like we were dancing than anything. Well, he was dancing. I was merely following his lead. If that was his plan, whatever his plan was, I had no choice but to dance to his beat. The only thing improvisation would get me is a sword through his heart. Meanwhile, sticking to the plan, had nothing to worry about. No reason to fear his sword might go off course. After several more fierce clashes, we got in close again. We were both breathing pretty heavily by that point. I was drenched in sweat. It felt like I would collapse right then. And then, there, if I loosened up even for a second. Gratien tossed a glance off to the side for the briefest of moments. His lips came together, curling up into a smile.
Listen up. 3 paces back, then charge. Swing down as hard as you can. Put everything you've got into it.
As soon as I signaled my acknowledgement, Gratien parried my sword off to the side. 1, 2, 3 paces back. Then I gathered my strength into my legs. I crouch, like he had at the beginning of the duel, envisioning myself as a tiger, ready to pounce. And then, we leap at each other in perfect sync. What? The harsh sound of metal striking metal, more piercing than anything else up to that point. For a heartbeat, the world went white. Then, the whoosh of something ripping through the air. It wasn't for another second or two that I realized what had happened. Breathing heavily, I looked down the sword in my hands, only to find half of it missing. Gratien's blade appeared to have snapped as well. The gallery began buzzing. Are you alright? How dreadfully dangerous. A perverse grin spread across Gratien's lips. I finally understood what he had been scheming. He wanted the swords to break, wanted to look like an accident, hoping that when the shattered blades went flying, a noble or two would be caught in the crossfire. That explained the whole song and dance, why he had us hitting each other's blades in the same spots again and again. But how the hell would you ever expect that to work? That said, if the fight had gone on much longer, I don't think it would have lasted. His plan seems to have gone about as well as he could reasonably expect. One piece landed near Barnier, another embedded in a table. That's fine by me. Not to avoid causing any more of a scene before the actual revolt. Not that I would be opposed to seeing any of these madmen screwed. Gratien wiped the sweat from his brow with the back of his hand and surveyed the room. As obviously outclassed as he was by all the nobles, he still seemed much larger than anyone else in the room. It took a few moments to catch his breath, then sauntered over to the center of the great hall, taking another good look around the room before saying,
Apologies for the disturbance, my lord. While ordinarily a duel's supposed to end with someone dead, it looks like that's out of the question today. So mayhap we can reschedule, put on another show in a day or two, if you would like.
Barnier seemed less than pleased with the outcome, but considering how rattled his guests were, he couldn't press the matter either.
Very well. Now I believe you two deserve a reward for such a fine show.
Oh, what kind of reward?
One I'm sure you'll be quite pleased with. The leftovers from today's feast. Gourmet cuisine the likes of which your mere slaves could only dream of getting your dirty hands on.
You mean those bleeding scraps of mystery meat?
Ha! Worry not. There's a pork in there. Unless your religion prohibits you from eating pig.
Nah, I gave up on religion long ago. I'm fine with eating meat. Most meat, anyway.
I'll have the other slaves bring it down this evening then. Now, the show's over. Be gone with you.
Gone we be, my lord.
I'm still concerned about that girl. There's nothing I can do for her right now. Hopefully she lasts long enough for the revolt, but wounds like that...
Hey kid, pick your beat ass up and let's get out of here.
I'm not beat, thank you very much.
Why are you trying to fool when you're wheezing up a lung? Getting huffy about it only makes you look more pathetic.
Piss off, you inhuman monster.
Now, do we have a wonderful day, ladies and gents?
Once we were out of the hall and in the corridor, I took several deep breaths, finally letting loose some of the tension that had built up within me. As we made our way through the corridors, the sound of nobles laughing and chattering away amongst themselves faded into nothing. We headed for the rather barren waiting room where slaves without assignments were kept. In essence, it was the human closet. I looked up at Gratien, who was standing beside me. I had about a dozen things I wanted to say to him, but I couldn't organize my thoughts into words. So I simply shrugged and pursed my lips. Yeah. No, it's a shame.
Huh? What was a shame?
You were hoping to kill at least one noble when his swords broke, weren't you?
If only. I'm not that skilled. Hell no.
You could have fooled me.
If anything, I'd say we're lucky it went as well as it did. It's a damn good thing they gave us their old crusty swords, or we'd never managed to break them at all.
If not to screw one of the nobles, then why go to such lengths at all?
Well, because otherwise we'd have to fight to the death, of course.
No, that's not what
Of course, we both know who'd be standing here then.
As much as I hate to admit it, he has me beat in almost every category. For God's sake, how do you even get that good with a sword? Is it heredity or something? What I'm trying to figure out is what your ultimate objective was in that whole facade. Why challenge me to duel at all?
You're planning a revolt, aren't you, kid?
What's that have to do with anything?
Just answer the question.
Denying it would only delay the inevitable. So, no point in that. I'm fairly certain he's not on the Lord's side. at least. If it was trying to win the Lord's favor, I can't imagine it would have ended the way it did. You can probably trust him. Yes, I am. I need the other slaves' help to pull it off.
The little drone's been sucked out of their fight. You can't get anyone on board.
Why even ask the question? You already know the answer.
Hey now, no need for the lip, kid. Brought it up because I'm trying to tell you I'm in.
You're in. Excuse me? What about anything you've done today would make me think you're in?
Bear with me for a second. Put yourself in the other slaves' places. Some dick they've never met before shows up out of the blue saying, I've organized, have all you set free, and I need your help to do it. Think they're gonna buy into it?
Fair enough. But it's true that I have people outside.
Don't matter. Could be lying through your teeth and it wouldn't change a damn thing. All that matters is whether they think you're worth getting behind.
I see your point. These slaves have been driven into the very depths of despair. Need someone charismatic enough to pull them out of that pit before it can be sparked to take any sort of action. Before infiltrating, a match would be much simpler. I've seen that was a rather naive of me.
That was a whole lot of words to say the same thing I just said. Look at your fancy metaphors. It all boils down to this. I think you have a chance at pulling it off? Yes or no? These people, they don't got the energy to get all philosophical. They go with their gut. The quickest way to their gut? Show them you're strong.
Ah, now I'm starting to understand what the duel was for. Now the slaves already know your prowess. So if I were to fight on the same level as you...
Then they'd be willing to hear you out, exactly. Whoa there, kid. We'll have a sigh. Trying to blow this place down?
You could have easily accomplished that without putting on a damn show in front of the Lord and putting my life in danger.
It wasn't just for the other slaves, kid.
What do you mean?
I wanted to make sure you weren't some yellow-bellied pissant. That you're actually capable of doing what you promise. And now that I know you've got a semi-functional spine, I'm willing to help out with the revolt.
Semi-functional? Huh. Well, I'm glad I didn't disappoint you then. Given my performance back there, I couldn't blame you deemed me beyond hope.
Give yourself a little more credit, kid. Well, I'm pretty sure the stories about my ancestors being gladiators are exaggerated. I did participate in a few death games myself back before I ended up here. Should consider it a badge of honor. You fought a brute like me and lived to tell the tale.
I was under the impression the church put an end to gladiatorial games.
Oh, right, it went underground. The rules may change, but not people. Always a market for blood sports. Then yada yada, I got sold to the Lord, and here I am.
This probably explains what he meant when he said he had given up on religion.
So, what's your story, kid? My money's on some rich aristocrat who got it in his head he'd want to play hero and stop the big bad lord from being mean to slaves.
What the hell gave you that idea?
You strike me as more a prissy rich boy than a ruffian is all.
A prissy rich boy? I come from the slums. So no, I'm not just some upper-class punk playing hero.
the fact will color me surprised. Sure don't talk or act like any of the slum boys I know.
It's probably because... Nothing.
And now I'm even more curious, damn it.
Honestly, it's not that interesting. I promise. Forget I said anything. It's because I want to be able to blend in when I eventually leave the slums. But he doesn't need to know that. I only just met him.
Whatever you say, then. In that case, how about we do some proper introductions, huh? Name's Gratien, which you sure already know. Nice meeting you, kid.
Jacobo. I'm very glad to have your support, Gratien.
Don't mention it. I've been wanting to make scumbags eat dirt myself, and this is the perfect chance. Oh, right. One more thing I wanted to ask.
What?
How old are you?
Excuse me? Is that relevant to anything?
Jeez, kid, someone really needs to teach you how to shut up and answer a simple question.
I'm 19.
Oh, thank God. I'm 20. Now I don't have to feel like I'm an ass for calling you a kid.
I'm only a year younger. Hardly makes me a kid.
A year's a long time, kid. Now that I've got that off my shoulders, I can put all my all into helping you with your revolt.
I'm starting to wonder if I ever even want help. This guy's help. Once I had Gratien on board, it was remarkable how quick the rest of the slaves were to join in. They knew him, and they respected him, and that respect went a long way towards improving my own standing. As far as they were concerned, I fought Gratien and managed to hold my own. And the big man was right. It wasn't a clever plan or a moving speech these people needed to put the light back in their eyes. It was the show of strength. Over the next few days, as Barnier and his guests indulged themselves, word of the plan quietly spread beneath the surface. I started to see signs of life for the first time since I had arrived. The majority of the slaves were emaciated and weak. There was a good possibility the guards would kill many of them. But still, I urged on at any who hesitated by saying, "If you choose to stay, you guarantee to be killed eventually." It was true to be sure, but in essence, I was threatening them, help or be left behind to die. And that was enough to convince them to grab onto the thread of hope I was offering, however frail it may be. We chose the 13th day of the banquet to commence the revolt. Wait until almost the end of the party, usual 2 weeks duration gave us a slight tactical advantage. Naturally, Barnier's guests did not attend without their own protection. After being made to watch over almost 2 weeks of debauchery, the guards would start getting exhausted. They would stop caring. And that was exactly what we needed.
Hey there, Jacobo. Everything's going good on my end. Good to go, I should say. You can give Lord Asshole what's coming whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Well there, kid. Save the thanks for after we get out of here with our heads still attached.
Fair enough. And how about this? We both survive? I'll take you to the best pub in the slums.
As long as they're pretty ladies, count me in.
There's one I can introduce you to. Don't mind your girl's headstrong and with a little bit of a bite.
Tough and pretty? Now that I can get behind. Spent so long surrounded by all these half-dead drones that I can sure stand for some good-natured abuse right about now. Oh my gosh.
Good nature might be a bit of a stretch. Rubber the wrong way, you find yourself short a pair of jewels.
Think I'll pass on that one, then. I don't care how much of a looker she is. I ain't ready for her to be my last. How about this, then? I'll tell you what I'm looking for, and you have someone picked out for me by the time this is all over. Flexible in the looks, but slender and short are a must. Meaty girls aren't really my type. Blonde hair and blue eyes are a plus, but it ain't a deal breaker. I like him to be a bit...
Slow down there. You guys are headed way too far in the clouds, so you think you're going to find your ideal wife in a brothel in the slums.
Hey now, how do you expect me to give this my all without something to look forward to on the other side?
I suppose it is a decent motivator.
See? You get me.
Now, on to business. Ready to do this?
I've been ready, kid. Just waiting for the word.
That's about as good as an answer as I could have hoped for. Before we begin, I want to go over the plan one last time. After you secured weapons from the armory, you take command of the other slaves and go open the gates. While you're doing that, I'll signal to my people outside, then cause a diversion. So we don't make too much noise, the lord and the other nobles should realize anything is amiss to on top of them. So when the gates are open, you head for the Great Hall, where we'll rendezvous. We'll crash the party, and while the lord and his friends are distracted, my people lead the slaves to safety.
And then we swipe up all the shiny things we can carry and get our asses the high hell out of there.
Right. Can't forget the valuables.
Huzzah! I'm getting all sorts of fired up. Don't you trip and fall on some guard's sword before we even get to start our fun, you hear me?
Huh. Same to you. Well then, let's get going. May fate be on our side.
Damn right.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to be in here. Get back to... Sit back! Don't make me kill you! Wait, stop! Frick.
You're up. Come on and draw your bloody cards already.
Don't rush me. I'm thinking.
On with it. It's almost lunch.
Yeah, Evolve this and throw away these, then I could...
Christ. Hear that? Sounds like something is happening downstairs.
Quit trying to distract me. Ain't letting you run off to the pot like last time.
No, I'm serious. Something's going on down there.
It's probably just a slave getting beat. Are you not used to that by now?
I don't know. Something feels off to me. I'll go check it out. Don't even think about messing with the cards while I'm gone.
I won't. Hurry back. Ain't no bonus for giving a rat's ass. So beats me what he's so eager about. God, I wish I could have gotten hired a place that paid a little better. Am I seeing things? So I just saw something move. You, on the wall! Get down from there! What do you think you're doing? You're not supposed to be up. Put the knife away before I... Huh. Up here playing cards and never to call yourself a guard?
Expecting resistance to be light, but not this bad. I should take care of this to get out of here before the other one returns. It's amazing how much better a knife feels in my hand than a sword. It's much easier to handle. Does not have much help if they manage to draw me first. You know, I asked Gratien to teach me how to use a sword. We both make it through the day. I hate the idea of him giving any more reason to claim superiority for me. I can't think of anyone better than him. Keep an eye on my surroundings as I climb up onto the watchtower. I hear shouting in the distance. Seeing Gratien was doing his job. I pull a brightly colored cloth from my pocket and affix it to the highest point in the tower. As it began flapping in the wind, I turned my attention towards the hill in the distance. A group of tiny dots emerged from behind a rock formation, heading this way. I let out a sigh of relief. Next up, time to make some noise.
Backup! We need backup! The slaves are revolting!
Revolting? Are you serious? What do you think you're carrying that damn sword for? I shouldn't need backup, just put it down.
Yes, but there's too many of them, and they're not messing around either. They're stampeding right through us. They don't care how many of them die. And one of them is practically a giant.
Oh, quit pissing yourself over a bunch of damn slaves. Who cares how big one of them is? They're not armed, just... B?
Behind you!
Huh?
Sorry to disappoint you, but we are armed. Maybe you should consider posting another couple guards in front of your armory. Oh, there he is! There he is! There he is! There he is! Come on, little man. Let's see what you got. Ah! You're no fun! Anywho, get these gates open, boys.
Yeah!
Yeah! Ooh, take it those are Jacopos people? Kid actually did his job instead of booking it the hell out of here. Good on him. Of course, that's exactly what I was going to do if I didn't see his people when we opened the gates. Guess he actually is good for his word. Which means I'm sticking through it to the very end. Hey, take out as many of the bastards as you can on your way in, and be thorough. We want a clean escape, and we don't want to give them a chance to surround us. Keep at it. Don't let them get organized. We fucked this up the ass pipe. It's the gallows for all of us. You need a weapon, grab a rock, a vase, a fucking decapitated head, anything you can find.
Gratien, how are things progressing?
Smooth as a baby's behind. Your reinforcements are in making right good work of the guards and getting as many slaves out as they can.
I'm glad to hear it. Let's head down to Great Hall.
Aye, let's. Like nothing more than to rip the Lord's head right off his shoulders.
The point is not to kill the Lord. It's to use just enough of blood that he stops throwing so many damn banquets. For now, anyway.
And what if I trip and my sword just happens to run him through?
I'd rather you didn't, if at all possible. But whatever happens, happens.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is it unnaturally noisy in here? Some others beat us to it, maybe?
As far as I know, we're the first ones here.
Well, I guess we'll find out. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3! Chaos reigned over the manor. The chaos in the hall where the Lord held his banquets was of a slightly different flavor. A buzz filled the room. Noble men and women murmured, shuffling backwards, putting distance between each other, tossing goblets to the ground. And Gratien had suspected, we were the first ones there. So why was everyone so tense? Whatever the cause of the disturbance, it seemed it was at least partially to thank for things proceeding so smoothly. The question is, what is happening here? Out of the corner of my eyes, I caught sight of the Lord. He stomped over towards the far end of the hall. Sitting atop the makeshift altar was the same young girl I had seen a week prior. For a brief moment, relief came over me at the knowledge she was still alive. But that relief quickly morphed into dread.
You!
He unlocked the shackles behind the girl. Too weak to hold herself up, she fell forward into a slump, her long, burgundy hair fanning out around her limp body. And then,
You're a damn witch wearing a saint's skin!
the Lord raised his sword high above his head. Gratien, I'll be borrowing that.
What? Hey, you little son of a...
What?
I hurled Gratien's long sword at the Lord, knocking his blade from his hands. The two swords rattled to the ground. I tossed my gaze to the girl for a split second. She was very clearly out of it, but she seemed to be breathing. Finally realizing a pair of slaves had just burst in on them, the noble's panic swelled. One of them shouting for the guards.
Well, fuck me sideways. There goes any chance we had a surprise attack. Damn it all! We had the perfect distraction, too. How the hell would they get in here, boys?
Yeah!
Oh, wait a second. Need my sword first.
The next second, the room was enveloped in a cacophony of shouting and screaming and clanging. Most of the nobles carried swords, but very few actually seemed to have any idea how to use them. The majority scrambled for the back exit.
You insolent worm! What do you think I am? To threaten your lord is to slight God.
Every cocky bastard to see. Tell me, do you have any idea what's happening right now?
Silence, cur! You will regret ever defying me.
Huh. Nothing more original, you third-rate fairy tale villain. I was the one who had said the Lord's death was not part of the plan. Yet there it was, going straight for him. Gratien was absolutely right. The Lord had been distracted with the girl when he arrived, but had thrown that advantage away. Hassan Guard knows how many slaves killed in hardly 2 weeks' time. Adding another body to the pile should not faze me one bit. Logically, there was no reason for me to care. But I couldn't just leave her. And of course, now that I picked a fight with the Lord, I had no choice but to follow through to the very end. I dashed for the Lord, scooping up one of his dropped swords and swinging it down on him. But my blade cut through nothing but air. I assumed he wouldn't be a pushover, another noble obsessed with money and power and helpless to defend himself. So there was no hiding the look of shock on my face. Damn, you can move! Bargain slid out of range, swiping the remaining sword off the ground and whipping it through the air with practiced grace.
Perhaps you should slay this night's yapping for when you have the skill to back it up, insignificant cur!
Huh, we'll see you still feel the same way when I'm through with you! I closed the gap, we clashed. He swung, I parried. Steel and steel ripped through the air, hot air, carving ephemeral silver arcs in empty space. Our blades locked.
What are you hoping to accomplish with this revolt? What's your endgame?
My endgame? To get out the hell out of this hellhole and be free from slavery, once and for all.
I have my doubts about whether you ever were a slave at all. But no matter. Why attack me? What do you care about the girl? What do you have to gain from saving her?
He's right. I had nothing to gain from rescuing the girl. All I accomplished is making this whole process needlessly messy. That said, do I need to have something to gain? Are you saying I should just sit back and watch as you murder an innocent little girl? I was angry and I thought I'd do something about it. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that really so hard to understand?
Nothing more than a childish hero complex. Just the answer I would expect from a foolish little boy with his head in the clouds.
Excuse me?
You're a puny worm, powerless to truly save anyone. You merely want to help the girl, so you can pat yourself on the back and pretend you did a good deed. You simply want an excuse to be proud of your worthless self. Look at her. The girl's hardly even breathing. She'll be dead soon enough, with or without my help.
And who do you think is to blame for that? You don't have any right to judge the value of her life.
My role in this is irrelevant. Was saving a dead girl part of the plan? It wasn't, was it? You diverged from the script to rescue a girl whose life is of no worth to you whatsoever. Also, so you could momentarily feel good about yourself. That misstep would be the downfall of you, worm.
Enough!
I'll put you back in the ground where you belong.
Not a chance. God damn. For a flamboyantly dressed asshole, he can sure fight. Son has much force behind his wings as Gratien, but he's quick. Barely keep up, let alone react.
I hope you enjoy eternity in hell. You have plenty of time to reflect on your little lapse in judgment.
Damn it! I can't let this bastard kill me when we're so close to succeeding. I need to keep my cool. Yes, he got me beat in agility. But Gratien is a much more skilled swordsman than him. I can handle this.
Sheer determination can only mask a lack of skill for so long, boy. Look at yourself. You're out of breath. That sword you're failing around is getting heavier and heavier.
Shut your mouth, damn it! I hardly even broken a sweat. I will, swear to God, I will have your head.
Ha!
Lord Bonnier, Lord Bonnier, your escape has been secured, my lord.
Since our fun is over, be grateful you're still breathing, Curl.
Hey, wait, we're not done yet. Get back here! God damn you! I made to go after him, but in an instant, a wall of guards had formed between us. Traces of fear were visible in most of their eyes. Even exhausted as I was, I had probably made it through. Before I could so much as consider attempting to give chase, I caught a glimpse of the girl, limbs and covered in gashes, causing me to come back to my senses. What's gotten to me? There's no point in going after him. The slaves have been freed and his valuables plundered. The plan was a huge success. What I should be concerned with now is getting myself out of here. I need to stay focused. I took a moment to survey the hall, reevaluate the situation. Things have progressed somewhat since I got it in my head to go after the Lord. Many slaves were gone, and the guards were beginning to mobilize. They were better equipped, trained, and more fit than us. We were, for the most part, fueled entirely by determination and righteous anger, which would only go so far in direct combat. Gratien was probably the only one on our side with any sort of real training. One man was not enough to win this fight, especially now that our main advantage, Surprise, was exhausted.
Hey, Jacopov, you're finished with your business. I'd really like to get the hell out of here. Maybe a badass, but I ain't God.
Right, yeah. Sorry for the hold-up. Before regrouping with Gratien, I knelt before the girl. Hello? Can you stand? Hello? Can you hear me? I gently shook the girl by the shoulder. The only response I got was a limp wag of her head. It was clear she was in no condition to walk. I guess I'll have to carry her, I thought. I made it pick her up. When I saw her face and gasped, dear God, it was horrific. Unsettling marks covered the young girl's face. Primal repulsion was my first reaction, and shortly thereafter came overwhelming pity. I obviously had no way of knowing what kind of little life the girl had led, but something told me it was far worse than any of the countless children who grew up in slums, struggling day after day.
Hey, get moving. I ain't waiting around.
I'm coming! I grabbed the girl's arms, wrapping them around my neck from behind, and climbed to my feet. I could feel her breath, faint though it was, on my ear. You hang in there. And I broke into a dash, leaving the fading panic of the great hall behind.
Oh, right. Light. Am I in heaven?
God damn, she's surprisingly heavy for how little meat she has on her.
What, you think she'd get lighter the harder you ran or something? Just ditch the stupid kid. She ain't long for this world anyway.
Hell no. Not gonna let all the effort facing off against the Lord go to waste.
You're one stubborn son of a bitch, you know that?
This is not heaven. Who are these people? Where am I going? I don't have the strength to think right now.
Hey! Don't you go die on me back there. Please, I'm begging you.
I'm so sleepy. Sleep. That sounds wonderful. How nice it would be to fall asleep on such a warm back. Oh, we got parts.
Looks like it.
Gratien, why do you curse so much? We're probably safe here, for the time being. So, what next?
First, I need to take her somewhere she can get some rest.
You've got nothing in that head of yours except that half-dead girl, do ya, kid? What, you fall for her or something? That what gets your rocks off? Can you only get it up for the ugliest thing in the city? Not to mention, she can't be older than 10. I like to think of myself as an open-minded, but that squicks me, man.
No! God, no! Absolutely not! I'm merely concerned for her well-being.
Right, of course you are. Well, everyone's got their kinks.
I swear to God.
What I'm wanting to know is, what are you planning to do about all those slaves you just freed? They can't stay here.
Not even a chance to defend myself. Right. My people have taken care of that. They made arrangements with several slave traders who have attempted to agree to transport them to other cities. After that, who knows?
So you set them free and then just abandon them?
Obviously. I'm not some rich kid playing hero. I gave who knows how many people an opportunity to change their lives. I did damn good work, if you ask me.
Fair enough. Can't expect you to give them the world. Setting the slaves free wasn't even the main objective.
You're more perceptive than you look.
I'm straight. Anywho, I'm planning to stick around for a bit. You still owe me that night with a pretty lady.
In that case, I should head down to the pub. Probably find some of my people there. The ones who weren't injured, at least.
Aye, aye.
As much as I'd like to take her to a real doctor, I'd do best not to show my face in the city proper so soon, not to make a mess of this lord's manor. If one of his guards were to spot me, probably not end well. Which means she is my only hope.
It's still afternoon. We're not open until evening.
It's me, Maria. Let me in.
Jacobo! You're alive? You have any idea how worried I was? I mean, fucking hell. I haven't slept in 2 weeks.
I bet my life that I just woke you up.
Oh, shove it. It's the sentiment that counts. Anyway, I'm glad you're... Wait. What the hell is that on your back? A corpse?
She'll be one soon if we don't do something. But for the time being, she's still alive.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop right there. I have about 1,000 things I want to say right now, but let's start with this. What exactly are you planning to do with her here? I mean, she looks like she got mauled by a fucking lion.
I need to stay low for a while. Can't risk showing my face in the city, so I was wondering if you would mind letting her stay here for a while.
Excuse me? Let her stay here?
You could look after her while she's here. I would appreciate it.
No. Stop. Time out. I'm not doing anything without an explanation. First of all, who is she? And what the hell happened to her?
The Lord was torturing her. I rescued her during the Revolt.
Okay, keep going.
That's all there is to it.
That's a pretty pathetic explanation.
I'm telling you, that's all there is to it. What more do you want from me?
So you're telling me you infiltrated the Lord's manor to swipe a half-dead little girl you'd never even met before. You couldn't have gone for, I don't know, something worth actual money? She's just skin and bones, and God knows if those wounds will ever heal. Though if she's pretty enough, we might be able to put her to work, I guess. Let me get a quick look at... I have no words. I can't.
Please, Maria. The longer we stand here, the closer she gets to death.
And once she recovers, if she even does, what then? How does she pay for her food? Because she sure as shit can't work here. I'm not sure there's much work she even can do. We're a business, not a charity. If I'm going to be putting my time and money into looking after her, I need something in return. And she doesn't look like she'll be able to offer much of anything.
I can offer some financial assistance. You plunder a decent amount of valuables from the Lord's treasury. You don't have to divide everything up. My share should be enough to support her for some time.
I don't get it. Why do you care so much?
What? Do you expect me to just leave her to die? I won't be able to live myself knowing I could have done something to prevent it. I swear to God. Does anyone have a damned heart? Because everyone sure seems hellbent on letting her die.
Whoa, relax, chill. You've lived here long enough, Jacobo. You should know as well as anyone that morals and good intentions aren't enough to help anyone.
I don't care. I want to help her. She can't be any older than 10. And her face could very well still heal. I couldn't stand to see her life end like this. Abused and tortured by a madman. It's downright cruel. She deserves better. She deserves to know the world's not all hell and misery.
Oh, fine, fine. You win. I surrender. I know better than anyone. There's no changing your mind once you're set on something. God, you can be so hot-headed sometimes.
So, will you help?
Well, it's not like anyone else is going to. Now, whether she makes it or not is a question of how much that scrawny body of hers is determined to hold on. So what are you waiting for? Bring her on in.
Thank you, Maria. I really appreciate it.
Cut it out with the mushy crap. You're gonna make me spew. Please, just stick to your usual snippy bitch act. I'm gonna get a bath going. Give me a hand. She should be able to get some rest here. Hardly anyone comes back here, even during business hours. I have to say, though, even cleaned up, she is a damn mess. People say the Lord's a twisted bastard, but this is way worse than I imagined. Who would do this to such a young girl? Oh, and for the record, I checked and she is still, chaste, if you would. Good to know the Lord's not that fucked up, I guess. Thank goodness for small blessings. Not that preserving her virginity is a whole lot of comfort compared to what he did do.
Maria, show a little common decency, would you?
Telling a whore to be decent is like telling a cat to bark.
Well, start barking, Dark, goddammit! What? Why do you think I need to know where she's chaste or not?
I checked, so I figured I'd mention it.
Keep it to yourself!
You know, for someone who spends so much time in a whorehouse, you sure are easily embarrassed.
Huh? What was that?
Oh, nothing.
Besides, the only real reason I'm here so much is to help out with the business side of things, not to make use of facilities.
So you did hear me.
Hey, Maria.
Ooh, is she coming too? Hey there, how you feeling? Can you see me? I've got some warm water if you're up to drinking anything. Still too weak to move on your own, it looks like. That's all right. Hang on, I'll go grab it and help you out.
Word.
Sounds like she just said something.
Thy mercy, cut off my enemies.
Huh? Enemies?
All them that afflict my soul.
Hello? You okay in there?
I am thy servant, O Lord.
It's okay. He's not here. We escaped. He can't hurt you anymore.
Of thy mercy,
It's okay.
destroy all of them.
Hey, Jacobo, not to be indecent, but I think she might be beyond repair, and not just physically.
No need to jump to conclusions. You could simply be disoriented. You're safe. There are no enemies here. No need to be afraid. You'll be feeling better in no time. Just need some rest. The human body is incredibly adept at repairing itself. I have some ointment for you soon, too.
You'll what? Ointment? How are you expecting to pay for...
Don't interrupt me, Maria.
Christ.
Just hang there a little longer. It'll be all better before you know it. Is there anything you need or want? Don't hesitate to ask. I get you anything, within reason. I guess it'll still be a bit before I can talk much, huh? Maria, I need to drop by the pub for a bit. I'll get some ointment on my way.
Butterfly. Butterfly. Roach. Gone.
Butterfly brooch? What's she talking about? Is she seeing things or something?
Perhaps. Or maybe the Lord took it from her.
My treasure.
Alright, I'll see if I can find it while I'm out. If it's something the Lord took from you, there's a chance it might be in the stuff we looted from his manor. I'll be back later today. Get some rest, okay? Look after while I'm gone. Would you, Maria?
I already agreed, so it's not like I can say no. Just remember, I've got work to do, so I can't be with her every waking moment.
A room, a warm blanket, you checking in on her every once in a while is more than enough. Thank you. Anyway, I'll be back.
Ciao. Hey, Jacobo?
Yeah?
Don't get in over your head, okay?
I won't. Greg.
And then I charged in, me trusty blade held high, cutting off Barney's last escape route. That poor bastard straight up and pissed himself, begging and crying for his life. I really hope this guy doesn't have a lot of lines, bro.
Gabby. Gabby.
Make sure to unmute yourself. That might be it. It ain't the details, but the spirit what matters. And I had enough spirit in me to bring the Lord himself to his knees.
Forget this.
I'll get it.
Forget this worthless twit. I took out 20 guards all by myself. This scar on my back is a trophy. Prove my valiant exploits in bat. I can think all the yelling opened the wounds again.
The only thing a scar on your back proves is that you turned tail and ran. You little chucking shit.
Well, it certainly seems like they're enjoying themselves. Perhaps a little too much. Going by how many seem to have drunk themselves comatose. Not that I don't understand what wanted to celebrate.
Oh, at last you grace us with your presence. Where the hell you been? We've been waiting.
I see how it is. You'd rather celebrate with her than us. Must be nice putting prostitutes before your comrades at arms.
I'm not putting anyone before anyone. An old friend of mine works there. Nothing more.
No need to be bashful. You can make up for it by getting your butt over here and drinking with us. You're the star of the show after all.
The what? For the record, I was gonna do it myself, but decided to let you have the honor. I could have rallied the slaves together and half the time it took you.
Tell that to the scar on your back, chicken shit.
I see risking your lives haven't made you three any less unruly. But glad you made it all alive. Truly. On that note, do you have any idea what the casualty numbers look like?
Bunch of wounded, but nobody dead. Good fortune was on our side. Trifecta of twats, more like. The reason you and your band made it out unscathed is because we slaves were on the front lines. You have any idea how many we lost?
Hello again. Looking surprisingly sober? Not drinking, huh?
Just finished my first cask, actually. Let me tell you, these guys are damn lightweights. Hardly even put up a fight.
So the pile of bodies in the corner is Gratien's doing, then? What on earth is his stomach made of?
So, boys, if you really think you're such hot shit, then how about you show me what you're made of? Let's drink. See if you live up to the trifecta of tarts or whatever the hell it was. We actually, we want to take our time drinking, you know, enjoy ourselves over yonder.
Yeah, the wound on my back hurts if I drink too much, besides.
Godspeed, Jacobo! Wait, get back here! God damn it.
Bunch of pussies. You won't run on me now, will you, kid?
I still have things to take care of. I had to find somewhere to get some ointment. I'm looking for a missing butterfly brooch as well.
Brooch? You mean this thing?
Yes, that! That must be it. The girl says it belongs to her. Could I have it? So I can give it back?
I don't know. I am the one who found it.
There's plenty more in the loot pile. What do you care about a worthless scrap of metal?
I think it looks pretty cute on me, to be honest.
What a load of bull. Fine, I'll buy it. What do you want for it?
I'm glad you asked. Beat me in a drinking contest and it's all yours.
Excuse me? Beat you? Went through an entire cask.
What? We haven't even started and you're already admitting defeat? The star of the show, you sure are a wuss. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. The Revolt never would have happened without me. Soon, everyone will know who the real star of today's show was. Yours truly.
Fine. You're so desperate for a playmate. I'm down for your little game. Let me tell you, I hold my liquor quite well, thank you very much. I wipe that smug grin off your face and shove it in a barrel full of your own vomit.
That's the fucking spirit. That prissy face of yours will be licking the chamber pot when I'm done with you.
Hey, fellas, Gratien and Jacobo's having a drinking contest.
Gratien? Who the hell's that? Do we have a Gratien here?
Right over there, the big fella. He helped with the revolt. Used to be a gladiator.
Gladiator? Those still exist?
I'm putting my money on Gratien.
bloody traitor. Jacopo's been with us from the very beginning. I'm betting on him. Looks like we've drawn quite the crowd. Oh, I'm not letting this get to me. You got yourself an impressive little fan club, kid.
When you've been in slums as long as I have, you get to know pretty much everyone.
The more to humiliate you in front of. Right then, the rules are simple. Whoever stays conscious longest wins. Oh, I doubt it'll be much of a contest.
Yeah, you just keep pretending you have a chance. Truth will hit you soon enough.
On the count of 3, 3. What's the matter, kid? You look a little sluggish, and this is only glass 4.
Huh, look at you. Your eyes are going bloodshot. You all talk after all.
You keep telling yourself that. Hey, booze wench, keep him coming. I could do this for hours, more and more. Fill her up.
I was quicker than you that time.
You're better than you look. But don't forget, I got a full cask on you. You're running with a handicap.
Not the one who challenged you. You're just making excuses for when to beat your ass. What does that make? 10? 20? I lost count.
Throwing in the towel, are you? See, what did I tell you? Step aside, kid. This is a man's world.
Are you even hearing yourself?
You're stupid, prissy kid. Face kid. Never liked you enough for one second. I sound like Macho Man.
What? Resorting to childish insults now, are we?
Was planning to start a revolt long before you ever showed up. You came marching in, took all the glory for yourself. Look at who do you think you are?
Were you now? Well, how'd you know? I never liked you either. You think that just because you can swing a sword around like a big ape that makes you think you're better than everyone?
The frick did you just friggin' say about me, you little punk? You wanna go, huh? You wanna go?
If you wanna go, take another drink. Is that what we're doing this for, huh?
Oh, fuck, that's right. Pull us up again, wench.
Ugh. The world is spinning. That's all you got? Your face is red as a baboon's ass.
And your pale's a fucking corpse. One more round. I'll crush ya.
You can try. Gabby.
Gabby.
What? What's your problem?
Booze, where's the booze?
Yeah, yeah, what?
Then go get more. This ain't the only pub in town.
So...
This should draw?
how anticlimactic.
Seriously, what a load of bull.
He's just sleeping. God, maybe the rowdiest man I've ever met. Let him be. He'll wake up when he needs to piss. Probably. On that note, I'll be in a lantern. Gabby.
Gotcha. I'll be out in a sec. You get some rest, hear me? I've got to run for a bit, but you shouldn't have to worry about anyone coming back here. There's an urn filled with water in the mess hall if you get thirsty. You can't hear a word I'm saying, can you? Well, night.
I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions.
Welcome, daughter of God. You perform miracles for me now.
A man stood before me. There were several young girls in the room. They looked like prostitutes. Some of them might have been boys. The man's clothes were beautiful. His jewelry glimmered in the light. His eyes glimmered too, but with madness, not beauty. He was the lord of the land. I had been taken from my home, and now I was kneeling before the Lord.
If you cooperate, I can guarantee you'll live more than comfortably.
I looked up the Lord dearly. He was a scary man, but I couldn't let fear stand in my way. I was the daughter of God, His beloved servant on this earth. I had to act accordingly to His will. Miracles are not something to perform for one such person's benefit.
What?
Miracles are not magic or parlor tricks. They are a precious gift granted to me by my Father in heaven. Using His power for personal gratification is a grave sin. I will do no such thing. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions. Do away with such selfish desires and dedicate yourself to helping the people. The power you have been given was bestowed upon you by the hand of God. It is not your power. He is merely allowing you to make use of it for a short time. Pride is a sin. Please consider how you conduct yourself.
You're an ignorant, insolent child, aren't you? I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion.
That is not my opinion. That is the way of the world. As God.
Silence! You're not here to talk. You're here to perform miracles for me and my guests.
The Lord glared angrily down at me. I gulped, biting my lip to keep from trembling. I steeled myself, fought down every urge to look. As I have already told you, I will do no such thing. But the Lord will not hear it. With a sickening laugh, he took a step towards me.
What you will or will not do is my decision, not yours.
No, get your hands off me. He grabbed me by the hair and threw me to the floor. Ah,
It seems you need someone to show you your place, child. You are my property. You are to do as I say. You're not to talk back or criticize. And you are to give everything to me. Your life, your body, your soul, your love. Every last thing.
my love and my soul are for my Father only. For God. I am no man's property.
You call yourself whatever you want. You still feel pain like everyone else. You still scream. What a little scratch on the arm, anyway. How many times have you cut yourself before miracles, Saint? Surely you're accustomed to the pain by now. Now, for the first time, you so-called miracle blood. Imagine must be truly exquisite. If what to say about you is to be believed. That your birth brought an end to a terrible drought. Yes, give on to me your blessing, Saint.
What? One moment. Light, can you read me? Yeah, there was a network issue that popped up. I guess we'll see. Light, yeah. Excuse me for a moment.
Indeed.
Oh, Elizabeth Bathory? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, you can speak Hungarian? Oh, I was gonna say. Yeah, just waiting. From technical difficulties.
Do you know how many
Morgana's
parts
having
it's broken up into?
That's a good
Anything?
question because I don't know.
Okay, it's all good.
Of course, Marie is always interesting, for better or for worse. Welcome back, Morgana. Well, it seems the Lord answered my prayers, so.
The Lord really needs to fix this PlayStation 5 we have sitting in the basement. Replace the PlayStation with Nintendo, and then we're good.
Well, I was still
Midnight's the
getting
worst.
like updates while it just like voice chat just quit on me. Then I couldn't do anything. It wouldn't let me do anything, so I had to unplug it.
Well, you fixed it at least.
You fixed it. Alright. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
Yes,
ready.
go ahead.
Yes.
I would be quiet if I were you. Ah. Please, I beg of you. Don't do this. I'm begging you. Please. My blood was meant for the sick, the poor, the suffering. My miracles were meant, needed them. Is this another of your trials for me, Father? People, there are so many people. They're looking at me and laughing.
Well, well. Good morning, daughter of God. I hope you slept well.
What's going on? What are all these people doing here?
As I told you, you're here to perform miracles for me and my guests.
No. I tried to twist away, but a joint of pain ran up my arms. Looking down, I saw heavy shackles around my wrists. I was sitting on top of a white sheet on what looked like an altar. And I was naked. No. Why am I...
Now, surely you, the daughter of God herself, are not ashamed of the body your father gave you. Now, are you? You're not some lowly peasant girl. You're above shame, aren't you?
What do you think you're doing? This is an act of blasphemy. The Lord pressed his hands against my mouth, bringing his face in just inches away from me.
I would encourage you not to insult my guests, Saint. Your job is to provide them with your blood, not give sermons.
He placed a knife against my neck. Intense pain jolted through my body.
No tears. Now that's a good girl. It certainly wouldn't be the same you cried and blubbered like a lowly slave or a whore. Dignified and saintly. That's what I need you to be.
The Lord brought a goblet up to my neck, filled it with the blood flowing from the gash. He raised it high into the air.
Cheers! A saint's blood and good fortune to all.
And then started passing it around to his guests. Staring hazily out to the crowd, I prayed. Prayed that someone might speak up. I proclaimed this to be a terrible affront against the Lord that it was. Might declare that I should be set free. That anyone would speak against the Lord.
What a wonderful, curious item you found yourself with, Lord Banya.
Gabby.
But his wealthy companions had no objections. In fact, they were quite pleased, smiling and laughing, with teeth bared. Most of them looked like they had never gone a day in their lives without a proper meal. And all of them were wearing masks to hide their faces. And on the holy Sabbath, a filthy preserved blood Sabbath. My consciousness began slipping away, not from the pain, but despair. I couldn't bear the sight of them, these men and women, who didn't fear God, reveling in depravity. They were monsters dressed in fancy clothing. Or perhaps they were demons, taking the form of humans. And these were the gates of hell. The Lord held such banquets on a regular basis. And every time he did, he drained me of my blood. Before long, my body was covered in scars and gashes. I could hardly even bear to look at my own arms and legs. In some places I was purple and swollen, and others my skin seemed to curl back to reveal the raw, planked flesh beneath. Everywhere I was wet and slick with blood. The wounds were far more heinous than any I had given myself to help the people of my village. It was gut-wrenching, repulsive. The Lord sometimes had trouble deciding where to cut, but not out of any sense of sympathy for me. He simply thought that drawing blood from an untouched area of my body would make it more effective.
Perhaps I'll use your stomach today, Saint. I should be able to get some nice, pure blood from there.
At that point in time, I hadn't completely stripped of my willpower quite yet, because my physical restraints prevented me from fighting back. I put all my energy into ensuring my spirit would not yield to him. Stop this. Can you not comprehend what you're doing is an affront to the Lord?
I'm free to do what I wish for my property. Saint or not, you're no different than any of my slaves.
The Lord is greatly displeased with your actions.
Then use your miracle powers to lure divine punishment on me. Go on. You can do that, can't you?
Your soul will be punished. You may not see the effects now, but you will pay for your sins one day.
Ha! You're not as threatening as you think you are, buck naked girl. Don't give me that look, girl. I had no interest in taking that from you. You'd be lucky to find anyone willing to lay with a girl covered in disgusting scars. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to eat too, don't you, daughter of God? I'm told consuming meat increases the amount of blood your body produces. So I acquired some special exotic meat just for you.
I don't want your meat.
Now, don't be difficult. I can't have you running out of blood on me, so you will eat this meat, even to force it down that tiny throat of yours. Slave boy, get in here. Bring the saint her supper. Hurry up, you worthless worm.
My apologies for keeping you waiting, my lord.
You dare drop food before your lord, cur? You ruined my robes.
Oh!
Are you incapable of even carrying a damn plate across the room?
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Stop it, please. Does he really deserve to be hit for that?
A slave's sole purpose in life is to serve their master. A slave who cannot follow simple orders deserves whatever punishment I decide they deserve, Saint.
Please have mercy. Don't kill me too. I beg of you.
Alright. Then this is how we'll handle it. If you eat the meat, Saint, I'll turn a blind eye to the boy's mistake.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll eat the meat. However much you want, I'll eat it. But please, do not raise your hand against the boy any further.
Very well.
With a satisfied smirk, the Lord returned the fallen meat to the plate and set it before me. I almost gagged at the stench. It didn't appear to be spoiled, but nonetheless, it was indescribably unpleasant. In no small part, I imagine, because it was raw.
What's the matter? You said you would eat. Or was that simply a lie to stay in my hand, daughter of God?
I'll eat it. My hands were still shackled, so I had no choice but to bend forward and take a piece into my mouth, like a wild animal. I tried to clear my mind, to not think about what I was doing. How I must have looked. A holy saint of the Lord, unclothed and in chains, gone in at raw meat like a stray dog. Miserable, disgraceful. It smells so bad. And I've never tasted anything like this before.
Why?
What?
Why? What did he do?
He? The slave boy, still on the floor from the Lord's beating, was looking over at me with vacant eyes. Or rather, at the meat. No. No, you wouldn't. This isn't.
He did deserve this.
No, I would never. I couldn't. No.
Well, well. Is the meat not your liking then, Saint? Hear that, slave? The Saint said your brother tastes so bad it makes her wretch.
No, I didn't know.
Ah, but you didn't keep your word, now did you? Listen up, boy.
Woo.
It's the dungeon for you.
No, please no, please no, please no.
Guards, someone shut this worm up and toss him in the dungeon.
Please no.
He's mad. Everyone's complete. How can a man like him? A man so twisted and cruel exists on God's earth. Someone, please Get me out of here. Take me away from this place. Anyone. O Father who art, I pray for you. Fill in me your deliverance. Father, your trials, they are much too great.
It feels like my brain's been pickled in booze. And my head's pounding. Throwing it all backed up helped a bit. And tomorrow's gonna be absolute hell. Greg. Greg, man. Greg, do you copy?
Greg, you're alive?
My voice wasn't working there. Sorry about that. You're great as always, darling. Like, I had it connected, but it just wasn't saying anything. So what do you say we continue this somewhere a little more private?
It's so sweet of you to offer, but like I told you last time and the time before, I can't. It's against the rules.
Hey now, we both know the other girls are already having some extra fun on the side. You ask me, I think we made good lovers. Because we sure make good love.
You know, to tell you the truth, I do kind of like you.
Ooh, then you'll...
But you're missing one very important thing I require of all my lovers.
What is it? What am I missing?
Money. Once you got a treasury I can swim in, then we can talk. Till then, we keep it strictly business.
God, you really are a cold-hearted bitch. Fine. Whatever. See you again.
And a wonderful evening to you too, sir. Fucking men, I swear. You act friendly for 10 minutes and they think you want to get hitched.
He seems like a very pleasant man.
Jacobo? Oh God, don't tell me you saw that.
I did. Sorry.
It's no big deal. No skin off my back. Also, holy hell, how much did you drink? You smell like you brought the whole pub back with you.
It wasn't my decision. I wasn't planning on drinking at all.
Really now? Well, not that it matters. So, quick question for you, Jacobo. Want to be lovers?
Excuse me?
Whoa, chill, man. Tone it down like 10 notches, would you?
Where did that come from? Do you really? I never realized you felt that way about.
Like hell I do, dipshit.
Harsh words.
It's just, I'm tired of going through the same routine over and over and over again. It never stops, no matter how many I turn down. So I figure if people think I've already got someone, it may lose me a few clients. But it'll also mean spending less time dealing with guys like him.
You're more than welcome to use my name if you think that would help. I'm sure that's what you want, though.
What? What do you mean, am I sure?
I just mean... it could come back to bite you when you find someone you actually love.
Someone I actually love, huh? Yeah, I can't see that happening. Ever.
You're still young. Who knows what the future may hold?
I've just got a gut feeling.
Oh?
Yeah, something deep down tells me love just ain't for me. I can't imagine myself ever feeling that way about anyone. And it's not something I want, either. It doesn't interest me at all. I've never really wanted kids or a family. Hell, even the idea kind of grosses me out, honestly. I'm not sure why, or if there even is a reason. It's not like something happened to make me this way, or one day I decided, nope, ain't happening. All that shit, it just isn't for me, plain and simple. You know, sometimes a couple of girls will come up to me and say, you should find yourself a nice man, Maria. I know they mean well, but it's frustrating. I don't want to deal with it. I mean, I mostly tune that kind of talk out automatically now, but still. Oh geez, I'm sorry. Just need to get that off my chest. You think that makes me weird?
No. Not at all.
I don't think love is inherently bad or anything. If that's what makes someone happy, more power to them.
I won't deny you're a unique woman. Pretty clothes and jewelry doesn't faze you. You don't thrive in gossip and drama like many girls I know. I've always been this way, for as long as I've known you. You are who you are. That's perfectly fine. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. How interested you are in finding love isn't going to change how I treat you.
Thanks, Jacobo. You're a good guy. And a good friend.
No problem. Glad you feel that way.
I like what we have. I like it a lot. You, me, friends, whatever's between our legs be damned. And I hope it can stay that way, even if everyone else wants to give a shit for it.
Of course it will. I have total confidence in our friendship that can continue to grow over the years. Me being a man, you a woman, has no bearing on any of that.
Man, I've got to say, you actually speaking your mind instead of putting on airs kind of gives me the creeps.
Well, if that's how you're gonna be, see if I ever do it again. Anyway, I suppose your uniqueness is what allows you to believe so strongly in friendship. Your... how should I put it?
Complete and utter inability to comprehend love?
To put it bluntly, yes.
Guess that's one benefit to me being a weirdo then. I get to have you as a friend.
So it is. Though in that sense, I'm not much different than her. I never had romantic feelings for anyone either.
So, hey.
Hmm?
I know I said this like a couple hours ago or whatever, but seriously. Please try not to get in over your head okay? I'm pretty damn content with the way things are. I mean, sure, I'm poor, and sure, I'm a whore, and living to old age is probably out of the question. But I think that's a pretty solid balance, all told. I've got me a good friend, I work with some great girls. Life ain't half bad. I enjoy it, with all its ups and downs. It's a hell of a lot better here than at the orphanage. What more could I possibly ask for? What we've got is good, isn't it?
I like to check in on the girl. Is that not a problem? I managed to get my hands on some ointment.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, didn't mean to talk your ear off like that.
It's fine. Oh, Anne, I also found a butterfly brooch she was talking about.
Oh, nice. She'll be happy to see that, I imagine.
Any change in her condition when I was out?
Nope, she's just been sleeping. Here, let me walk you to her room.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Maria. You may be content the way things are, but I'm not. I want to go out into the world one day, prove myself. I'm tired of being sneered at and told I'm worthless, inferior. She's sleeping so soundly. Part of me wonders if she'd ever wake up.
Anyway, room's all yours. I've got to get back to work.
All right. Thanks. Take care of yourself out there.
Man, I've been at this for years. You don't have to worry about me.
I guess now is as good a time as any to apply the ointment. Hmm. Are you okay?
No, please don't. I'm begging you. Help.
Hey, what's... Suddenly, the girl began writhing on the bed and clasping her chest. Half panicked, I reached out for her. When I realized her eyes were wide open, they were pale gold and stared straight through me. No, that doesn't quite capture it. I felt almost as though I had just been skewered with a spear. It looked horribly out of place on her disfigured face. The dark patches of flesh, in fact, seemed to accentuate her eyes, the contrast giving them a curious sort of magnetism, unwavering resolve and fragility, benevolence and seething madness. They were enchanting, and also overwhelmingly inhuman. Perhaps the otherworldly beauty was, in some way, a result of her being in shambles physically and mentally. Like she was standing on a precipice, majestic wings spread wide as she prepared to embark on a journey back to heaven. Not on my watch, you're not. Put those damn wings away. Hold on, I'll go get some water. What? Hey! As I tried to step away from where she lay, the girl abruptly lurched forward and chomped down my arm. Ah, shit! Get off me! Calm down. I'm not your enemy. Ugh. Her teeth clenched down my arm, ripping into my flesh with a force I never imagined a girl capable of. I was afraid she might take a good chunk of it with her. That said, I could have easily knocked her away. She was an emaciated child, myself a relatively healthy adult man. Hey! Which is precisely why I didn't. As the girl growled and gnawed at me like a rabid dog, I forced myself to make a smile let her have at me. Is that what it takes to placate you? My arms are yours. Bite it, claw it, rip it off, whatever you want. A few years back, there was a stray cat not far from where I lived. As though it was hissing and biting anyone that got near it. After a while, when it realized it meant no harm, it stopped all of that. Calmed down. Humans are the same way. We're just big animals. Yeah. That said, this really does hurt like a son of a bitch. After some time, she finally released my arm, taking a deep breath, and pulling away. Then she seemed to roll her tongue around inside her mouth, as though trying to clean it. When she was done with that, she began surveying the room with her pale gold eyes. They weren't the feral, glimmering eyes of an animal anymore, but clear and lucid. Human. Looked like you finally calmed down.
Let go of me.
But, whoa, I'm not gonna hurt.
Let go. Get your hands off me. Please.
Okay, no need to shout. I won't touch you without permission. I won't do anything to make you uncomfortable. Let's try this again. Had you calmed down? Though she still seemed to be disoriented, she gave me a nod. Okay, good. Actual communication. Progress.
Where am I?
He doesn't seem to remember her escape from the Lord's manor. Not that surprises me. Spoken in a hushed half-whisper, her voice much more restrained than other girls her age. Her fur had subdued, turning her soft-spoken aloof. Considering everything she had been through, finding herself now in an unfamiliar room with a stranger, it was a natural response, but still it seemed unbefitting. This is, well... Does she even know what a brothel is? She did, with telling her that go over well. It is kind of like my home, I guess you could say.
I hear strange voices. Women, they sound like they're mooning. And the floor is creaking.
Yeah, sure is. Well, crap. I got so used to that, I just tune it out all out automatically. But she's right, you can definitely hear voices through the walls. I'll talk my way out of that.
This is your home, you say. So you host terrible banquets as well?
Whoa. Don't jump to conclusions. I'm sorry I lied. This is my home. I just wasn't sure I could explain it in a way you would understand. We're in a brothel. Do you know what that is? It's where a bunch of women called prostitutes get together and sell sad men happiness.
I know what prostitute is.
Oh, do you? I'm surprised. You're a little young for that.
They are unclean. They disobey my father's teachings.
What?
God says fornication is a sin. All who indulge in pleasure defile themselves, and shall be cast down into hell. Why in a brothel?
Because this is the only place I knew that would look after you. Well, don't you worry. I have a good friend here. You can trust her. She'll take good care of you.
So you sold me to a whorehouse.
Excuse me?
You mean to defile me further? To make me into a harlot?
Whoa, slow down. I never said that, and no, that's not why I brought you here.
Liar.
First of all, you never...
You're a liar. You mean to force me to defile the teachings of my father. Take me back to the Lord's Manor.
Are you out of your mind?
I would rather be there than here. He's a terrible, cruel, evil man. But at least he let me keep my chastity. So take me back to him.
Okay, stop. Not another goddamn word. You want me to take you back to Lord's Manor? Like hell? Do you have any idea what I went through to get you out of there? Then there's Maria, who's been taking care of you for a while I was out. We're helping you. Everything we've done has been to help you. And then you say you want to go back to getting sliced up by that sick bastard? Are you insane?
Please, don't shout.
Sorry.
I'm begging you, just let me have my chastity.
Are you kidding me?
I must remain pure. I cannot return to my father's side when I pass on, if my soul has been tarnished.
Oh, for the love of... How many times do I have to tell you? I have no intention of making you into a prostitute. Besides, if I did, you couldn't get any work looking like that.
What do you mean?
Hold on, I'll get a mirror. It'd be quicker for you to see for yourself. I grabbed one of the prostitute's hand mirrors and passed it to the girl, which she hesitantly accepted. She seemed less concerned about the mirror itself, more just worried that I might do something to her. Slowly, she turned her gaze towards the reflective surface. It was generally difficult to gauge her expression through the patches of dark and festering flesh, but the look of horror that spread across her face was clear as day.
Why? How? What are these terrible marks? He never cut my face. So why?
I'll take that to mean she didn't always have the marks on her face, then. Is this something the Lord did to her? But she just said he didn't cut her there, didn't she? It's hard to make out her muttering. God, now I feel like an asshole. If I'd known she would take it so badly, I would have just kept my damn mouth shut. Now do you understand? You can't be a prostitute. I can't imagine how awful it must be to find your faces covered in scars, especially for a girl your age. But don't let it get you too down. It could very well still heal.
Me.
Huh?
Would you please kill me?
What? Why the hell would I?
Taking one's own life is a sin. So I need you to do it for me.
Oh, for the love of... Did you forget everything I just said? I saved your life. Now you're asking me to kill you? What the hell is wrong with you?
I wish to return to my father's side.
Ugh. Okay, listen real carefully. Yeah, your life kind of sucks right now. I get that. We all have times when you'd rather be dead. But you can't just give up. Preserve, and good fortune will eventually find you. Live on, you eventually have a chance to get your payback. Things may be bad now, but you're still just a child. You have so much more opportunity to make things better. So don't you ask me to kill you again. You just get the same answer. I won't do it. End of story. Hello? Say something. So you're giving me the silent treatment. Anyway, I bought ointment, like I said I would. Give me your arm, I'll apply it.
No.
So she'll talk to me to shut me down, but that's it.
I wish to be alone.
I'll leave if that's what you want. But don't you go dying on me.
I will not take my own life. It is a sin.
That's some bizarre logic, but if that's what it takes to keep you from killing yourself, I'll take it. Well, I'll be off then. The ornament's right here. I would appreciate if you actually used it. I'll see you... Oh wait, I almost forgot. I found your butterfly brooch. This is it, right? I'll leave it here with the ointment. And I'm off. For real. I'll check in on you again tomorrow. That was a lot more work than expected.
Oh, look who it is. All done with your little visit?
Yeah, all done. Same with you, I take it?
Yep, just a little bit ago. God, you would not believe that last guy. He was so rough, I thought he was going to tear me a third hole.
Is that so? Not sure how I'm supposed to react to that information.
So, any news? Or did she just sleep the whole time?
No, she woke up. We even spoke, if briefly.
Well, shit, that's great news.
That's debatable.
Oh, what happened? Your big sis is all ears.
Except I'm older than you. We're not related either.
Huh. Well, I didn't figure her life was all rainbows and sunshine. So what, you wanting to look after her? 'Cause let me tell you, it'll be hard, thankless work.
I made a choice when I rescued her from the Lord's Manor. At least to take care of her until she's able to support herself to some degree.
Well, I'll do what I can to help too. We can spare a room for her here as long as she needs.
I appreciate it. She seems far too wary of me to stay with me.
You were planning on taking that poor, innocent little girl to live with you? Man, I thought you had standards.
No, for the love of God! No! Would never.
That reaction is never gonna get old. Anyway, pretty strange marks she's got on her face, huh?
Any idea what they might be?
There was a girl who used to work here a while back. One day she woke up and she was covered in warts.
Warts? What does that have to do with this?
Chill, I'm getting to that. Me and the other girls, we thought one of her clients had given her something. Not uncommon in this line of work. We never seen anything like it before. We just assumed it was some kind of rare disease. Not long after, she quit, and well, to tell you the truth, I figured she'd turn up dead in a ditch somewhere. But she got lucky, and a family in a better part of town took her in, let her work for them as a maidservant or whatever. When I ran into her a few years later, all the warts were gone. At first, I assumed the disease had just run its course, but as I talked to her, I started to think that wasn't it.
Oh?
Apparently, some of her clients at the brothel used to harass her real bad. They'd even go as far as chasing her around the slums. She wasn't a particularly tough girl, so it did a real number on her, psychologically and emotionally. But she told me as soon as she got out and it all stopped, the warts just went away. Poof. So my guess is, sometimes people's emotional states can have physical consequences.
You think the marks on the girl's face are the same thing?
Yep. The Lord tortured her so bad he busted her up mentally and emotionally on top of everything else. And that's what we're seeing with her face. I mean, I could be completely wrong, too. For all we know, the Lord did cut her face up and she just doesn't remember. Or it could be something else entirely. Could be some kind of disease.
Good point.
Either way, there's no doubt she's been to hell and back. So plan on at least 3 years of ice breaking if you want to get through to her.
3 years. That sounds about right.
Try to watch yourself, though. You can have a bit of a short fuse sometimes.
I will. Little does she know. Already snapped once. I should get going then. It's one hell of a day. I'm beat.
Get all the rest you need. I'll let you know if anything happens here.
Thank you. Good night.
Sleep tight.